Hey, have you guys ever heard of Vevor or Vevor? Their tagline is tough tools, half price. They sell tools, including woodworking tools. And in this video, I'm going to unbox and review this miter gauge. I got this for under $100 and we'll see if it's worth it. Let's go! Quick disclaimer before we start. I bought this with my own money, but the link that you see down below are affiliate links, so use that information how you like it. Now that's out of the way, let's unbox this thing. Now the box is pretty nice. I like how it's really simple. There's not a lot to it, which I'm sure contribute to the low price. And just for your information, I bought this for $70. And MSRP is, I think, $80 or $90, I can't remember. But Vevor always have coupons lying on the internet, so you can get 5% to 15% from time to time. Oh wow, look at that. This is packaged really well. This miter gauge is actually the most expensive miter gauge variants that Vevor has. They have a few other models that are cheaper, but this one comes with really nice aluminum material, extensible fans, and stop block. So we'll see how well it works. Let's take everything out of the box. There's not much to it. This is the stop block. This is the fans, the handle, and the actual miter gauge. First impression, it's really hefty. I did not expect this quality of materials for the price points. It's heavy. I guess that's extensible fans. Yep. Wow, that's really nice extensible fans. Okay. So let's try to assemble this. I gotta read the manual a little bit, guys. Alright guys, I managed to assemble this miter gauge. It's not too hard, you just need to read the instruction. Also, I didn't do a lot of calibration because according to the instruction booklet, this miter gauge should come out of the box ready to use. So we'll see about that. So far, I'm still pretty impressed by the look and feel of this miter gauge. I love the ruler. It comes with the ruler on the main fans here and also on the extension fans. It goes from 19 inch to 39 inches and it comes in both metric and freedom unit. So whether you're an American, confused Canadian, or the rest of the world, you'll be able to use this miter gauge. The other thing that I also really like is this stop block. This stop block is heavy. It can be moved out of the way. It's really thick and there's not much play to it. It also comes with micro adjustment, which is unheard of at this price point. I'm impressed. So I guess what's left next is just make our first cut. Now before we're making our first cut, I want to do a little bit of calibration on my table saw. I want to make sure that the miter slot is parallel to the blade. I don't see this done a lot in other miter gauge review. Okay, I made sure that this miter slot is parallel to the blade, at least based on my naked eyes manual check. It's really close, so I think we're good there. The next thing that we want to do is we want to calibrate this miter gauge runner so that it fits snugly and nicely in this miter slot without a lot of play. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of play out of the box, so let's calibrate this. This uses a pretty standard calibration. It uses set screws, so I will just loosen it up a little bit and see if we can make it better. Okay, that took a few minutes, but there's less play to it. And I set it up to be about an 1/8 or 1/4 inch away from the blade, just to make sure that I don't trigger the saw stop mechanism on here. I guess right now the only thing that we can do is let's do a test cut. Alright guys, this is actually really impressive. First cut, 90 degrees.
first cut is perfect, 90 degrees.
This miter gauge comes with detent for common miter angles. The way it works is that you can unscrew the handle to unlock the miter gauge, pull up the detent pin, and then change the angle as needed. If you want to set the angle to one of the detent angles, the pin will drop into the detent. It's a pretty simple mechanism, but as far as I'm concerned, it works pretty well. Let's test some angles. As I mentioned before, this miter gauge comes with a few detents for the most common angle, and I tested 4 of them: the 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 30 degrees, and 22.5 degrees. For the 90 degrees and the 45 degrees, I just check it against this square and it looks perfect. For the other two, the 22.5 and the 30 degrees, there are about 0.2 discrepancy. But I don't know if it's because it's the miter gauge or if it's because I use this cheapo digital protractor. But you know what? It's 0.2 degrees. I won't sweat it. We're working with woods, so you guys can take this information with a grain of salt. Now that we tested the angle cutting, we're going to do another test. Because I'm not Mark Spagnolo and I don't have Wood Whisperer miter gauge money, I'm going to do more of a practical testing. I'm going to use this miter gauge in an actual project that I'm working on. The idea here is I want to test the stop block, the fence, and how good it is at making repeatable cuts. Let's go. We are going to cut 1/4 inch plywood to drop into these cabinet face frames. We'll also cut some 3/4 inch plywood for drawer faces. If you guys want to see the project, I would appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel or watch the video I link here. Thanks! I'm using relative dimensioning for the cabinet face, so I only use stop block for repeatable crosscuts here. Next, I need to crosscut this 3/4 inch plywood into exact width. Since we tested the stop block, now we're going to test the ruler. But before that, we need to do a little bit of calibration. As you guys can see, this ruler starts at 0. But this won't work because that means the fence has to be kissing the blade. We need to slide the fence away from the blade and then subtract that space size from the number on the ruler. If that don't make sense, let me show you guys how to do that. Let's say I want the space between the blade and the fence to be 1 inch. First, get yourself a scrap wood, mark at any size that you want. For example, 12 inches. Since we're going to slide the fence away from the blade to the left, you want to mark the stop block 1 inch to the right, since the extra inch will come from the space between the blade and the fence. So in this case, move the stop block to 11 inch. Next, you want to put the scrap on the miter gauge and line up the 12 inch mark with the blade. Loosen the fence and slide the stop block to the edge of the board. After that, lock the fence back on its position. It will look like this. Now, we just need to make multiple cuts and move the fence around until the measurement is correct. It took me several tries, but I think I got it. Now let's make all the cuts for this project. Well, I think this is enough cut for me to form an opinion. Let's start with the negative first. The first thing that I don't like is the set screw on the runner. It works, but it's a little bit finicky. The second one is this ruler. As you guys can see at the previous part of the video, there's a workaround to make this ruler work. but it's really prone to human errors. In fact, just from this one project alone, I think I made a couple of mistakes in my cut because I forgot to subtract the 1 inch from the ruler. The next thing is the marker on this ruler. It's not the greatest because in order for you to make accurate cut, it has to be right on the line. And it's really hard to read because it's a little bit thick. And also, when you move the stop block around, it moves along with it. So, not the greatest. The fans comes with T-slot for sacrificial fans. But the stop block is not designed for sacrificial fans. Since we're on the topic of stop block, this is a good segue to the first thing that I really like about this miter gauge, which is this stop block. I said it before and I'll say it again. It's really thick with a lot of C's, and it goes all the way to the bottom, so it will accommodate thick material and really thin material as well. And since we're here, the second thing that I really like about this miter gauge is this micro adjustment. It works really well when you need to sneak in for that cut. And I'll be honest with you, I take this micro adjustment and stop block over working ruler anytime, because in woodworking, equal is better than exact. This combination will let you make repeatable equal cut really easily. The next thing that I like is the adjustable fans. I mean, there's not much to say for it, but it works. Next, we go to the back of the miter gauge. This angle detent. For common angle, this miter gauge works really well. And of course, the best thing about this miter gauge is its price point. At $70, it's really hard to beat, and it definitely punches way above its weight. Now, is it the best miter gauge out there? I don't know. Probably not. There's the Incra, Jessam, Sawstop, Harvey. Unfortunately, I don't have oil money to buy those miter gauges. So this one, if you have commoner's budget like myself, this one probably the best for you. Alright guys, we reached the end of the video. Leave comment down below if you guys want me to review other Vevor stuff. But just be nice to me because, you know, I gotta pay everything from my own pocket. Except of course, if someone from Vevor watch this and they want to send me some tools from there. Either ways, that's it. Bye!